Today I'm going to show you 10 different ways to build a garage in The Sims 4 using only the base game and no mods. So let's get started. So as you can see, I have 10 different garages on this lot that I've already built, and I'm going to break down how exactly I made these. So for our first garage, it's going to be for a 2-story house. Start by grabbing the room tool, which you can find by going right here, clicking where it says walls and empty rooms, and here's the room tool. I'm going to be placing mine on the front of the house, but you can put yours anywhere. You can put it on the side or wherever you want. Draw a very tiny room about 4 tiles wide. After that, you're going to want to grab some wallpaper. My favorite one to use is the base game Simple Siding, but any siding will work. Really, any wallpaper works. There's no rules to this game. You can put glass there if you really want to, but to make it look like a garage, I prefer to use paneling, siding, or brick. Place it here, and then after that, I'm going to go to the roofs, and picking up a half gabled roof, I'm going to tap the period key to rotate it once, place it down as best as I can, and then we can adjust it if we need to. Click on the roof and then grab the arrows and adjust it as needed. I like to drag these eaves in. I think it looks better when it's flush to the wall, but you don't have to. It's all about personal preference. And I'm also going to drag these eaves in as well. You can also adjust the height if you would like to. And then of course we can't forget our roof pattern and roof trim. There we go. Next, we're going to go to the windows, and I always like to pick up the light box window. I prefer to add windows because I just like how it looks. Place them along the top of this room. Go to the search bar and type in shelf. Grab the immaculate shelf. I like to use this shelf as a pretend handle for the garage door. None of this is functional, it's just for show. Place it in the middle anywhere you want. I usually place mine towards the bottom, and I also like to size it down twice by using the left bracket key. Click that twice. And make sure you have the move objects cheat on. Place it about right here. Another thing that I like to do is go to columns, and I'm gonna grab this one right here. I like to place it on each side. Since these columns are so bulky, I would drag these eaves back out, but I don't like how it looks because it's hanging out too far. So a quick workaround that I like to do is grab the platform tool, draw a platform here, lower the platform, go to exterior trims and grab any of these and then place it right here. And as you can see, that just finished the whole look. When you go inside the house, you can either leave this how it is and have it just be for show, for aesthetic purposes, or if you want it to be an actual garage, you can separate it from the rest of the house. And if you hold down Control while you're drawing a wall, it will actually delete it for you. So now we have a perfect little garage. This garage is 6x5 with a 4-tile bump out. That is our first garage. Alright, so for garage number 2, we have a 1-story house. And for this one, I'm actually going to be using a hidden item from the debug menu. To unlock the debug menu, hold down Shift-Control-C and type in bb.show hidden objects. Press enter, and then type bb.show live edit objects and press enter. Then type debug in the search bar and click on any of the options, and then you should have a ton of unlocked items after that. I'm actually using the Better Build By mod, so my debug menu is always unlocked. I don't have to type in those cheats. Highly recommend that mod if you don't have it. I'll leave a link to it in the description. So you're gonna have to scroll through until you see this, and we're going to place it up against the house as best as we can. If you press F5, you can unlock quarter tiles, so you can scoot it closer to the house if you need to. It depends on what type of roof you're using, but if you're using a gabled roof like this, you might run into this issue where it's clipping with the roof. So to fix that, we're going to use multiple roof pieces. Start by clicking on the one we already have and dragging it over. And then I'm going to copy that and place it here. And then for this piece, you're going to want to drag in all of the eaves and resize it as needed. You'll want it to be 3 tiles wide. Then we are going to click on this roof and then drag in only this eave. If you hold down Shift, you can drag in only one eave instead of both. Now copy this roof piece, place it here, and make it 1 tile wide so it fits in that little section. Drag out the bottom eave, and then copy that roof piece, place it here, and now your garage door fits here perfectly. Don't you just love when it fits perfectly? I love that. Zoom in here, and I'm gonna move this like to here to where it's like in the house. Now I'm gonna use the Alt key to bring it forward just a little bit. That's better. Now there's not a gap at the top. Okay, Perfect. I love that. And this comes with multiple swatches. We have gray, white, orangish brown, red, and green. Like I said earlier, you could either keep this as a for show moment, or you could separate it and make it an actual garage too. Okay, garage number 3. So for this one, we are actually going to pick up a half gabled roof. Place it one tile away from the house. If your house is up on a foundation, it won't let you put it up against the house. So we're going to do one tile away, drag in all the eaves, lower the pitch all the way down, and then drag it towards the house, drag it over as well. Next, I am going to get the bottom eave here and hold down shift so that it only drags out the one eave. Drag this down until it no longer moves. See how the white part keeps getting longer? Go to roof patterns and pick up this base game not so drab slab. I usually like to use the black swatch. Go to roof trims, and I usually grab the angled out roof trim because it's very sleek and not bulky like most of the other ones. Now you can leave it at this, but I usually like to go to the debug menu, and I usually prefer to pick up this white brick wall, but there are multiple different types of things you could use for this. Size it down twice or however many times and place them along the sides of your roof. And there we go. You can customize this as much as you like. If you want it to be a really long driveway, you can drag it out. Just know that the longer it is, the taller it gets. So if your walls are set to the shortest option like mine are, if you make a really long driveway, it'll make the garage look really short. So you will probably want to change the wall height. Or you could also do this for a 2-story house. You can click on the roof and raise the pitch, and that'll make the driveway pretty steep, and it'll cover up like half of the wall. But if you have a 2-story house, that's okay, because you could just put your garage up on the 2nd floor, which sounds kind of weird, but I'm sure for some people it might make sense for their build. So alright y'all, that is it for our attached garages. Now we're going to move on to detached garages. So if you don't already know, a detached garage is a garage that is separate from the house, so like either right next to it or in the backyard or wherever. So for the first detached garage, draw a room about this size. Yours can be however big you want. This one is 6 by 7 tiles. Onto that, I'm drawing another small bump out. This one is 4 by 1. So for the roof, you could either use a gabled roof or a hipped roof. I'm using a gabled. After that, we're going to grab a half gabled roof and then adjust it to fit this bump out and bring in all of the eaves and lower the pitch if it's clipping with the other roof, and add a roof pattern and roof trim. Now to make this really look like a garage, you want to be smart with how you use your wallpaper. Like I said earlier, I like to use the siding, but for the detached garages, I usually like to either keep the siding on just the bump out or just the roof and the other part of the garage. For the opposite part, I will grab something else. For this one, I'm going to keep the siding on the bump out and then paint everything else white. You could also totally just not have a bump out and you could just have a plain garage like this. That's also fine. But y'all know me, I like to be extra. Next, I'm going to add those same windows that I've been using, as well as my little shelf trick and columns on each side, as well as grabbing the platform tool, draw a platform, click on the platform and lower it. By the way, you don't have to do it this way. You could also grab a flat square and line it up and then resize it. There's multiple ways of doing that. I just find that the quickest way for me is doing the platform tool thing. Going to exterior trims, you can pick any of these. I usually only use these super thick ones if the walls are on the medium or the tall height. Also, don't forget to add a door so that your Sims can get in and out of these, by the way. You could also totally just not be extra, and you can just put the little handy dandy debug garage door there. I would probably want to make this 3 tiles wide though, so it fits better. But if you do this, personally, I would grab this roof, rotate it twice. So instead of going up against the house, it's going up against this big bulky part, and then hold shift to drag the eave out once. Now it is like perfectly resting up against the little garage thing. Garage number 5. Draw another little room. And for this one, I'm going to do bump outs on each side. So a 1 by 1 room right here and here. Then we're going to pick up a gabled roof and place place it here, but don't drag it up all the way. You're going to want to stop here and leave these open. And then we're going to grab a half gabled roof, place these on the little bump outs. Make sure that they're facing the same way as the gabled roof on each side, and put it here and drag it to be as small as possible. Drag in all of the eaves, and make sure if you've raised or lowered the pitch on the gabled, make sure you drag the half gabled roof to be the same exact pitch. And also add the same roof pattern and roof trim. Click on it and click on this little copy button. Click the period key twice to rotate it and place it on the opposite side. Now click on your gabled roof, hold down the shift key, drag this eave up once. Now we have this super cool build. I love doing this with the roofs. It's a lot of work, but definitely worth it. Now I'm going to place some siding right here and on the roof. And then of course you can add the windows if you would like, and the little shelf. I actually think these windows look better placed up on the roof part instead of on the wall, so I'm going to do that. Another thing that I like to do, this is just another random tip, grab a light that hangs from the ceiling. I'm using this base game one. You can size it up if you want to, and then press the 9 key to raise it up. If your 9 key doesn't work, make sure you have the move objects cheat on, and you can also try holding down the alt key and 9 at the same time, and you can press 0 to lower it if you raise it too much. Raise this until it gets to the very top of the roof. You might have to adjust your camera angle so you can see. If you're wondering how I'm moving my camera around like this, I have my camera controls on Sims 3 camera, not Sims 4 camera. Press the 9 key until it gets like inside of the roof, and there we go. This one is one of my favorites. I just love the roof trick. I love using the half gabled roofs to get that angled wall. I'm obsessed. All right, on to our next garage. Once again, I am drawing a room. This one is pretty similar to the one we just did, just with less steps. Grab a gabled roof and place it here. This one is really basic. You could just keep it like this, and you could do siding all around, or you could grab columns, place one here and one here. Grab your wallpaper and place it in between the columns. Grab the platform tool and draw a platform right here. You might have to move the roof back, and then click on it, lower it, bring the roof up, go to exterior trims, and you can grab any of these, place it there. Now you have like a bump out without having a bump out. Can't forget our windows or our shelf. Okay, next up is our last detached garage. This one is going to be bigger than all the other ones we've done so far. I made this one 7 by 11, but yours can be any size. Just make sure it's pretty wide, at least 8 or 10 tiles. So once you have a wide garage like this, grab your room tool and do small bump outs on each side as well as in the middle. If yours is uneven like this, just drag it over once, and there you go. Grab a gabled roof. The wider the house is, or the wider the roof is, the taller it's going to be. So you're probably going to want to lower this one quite a bit. When the pitch is taller than the actual building, it kind of looks weird, but if that's your vibe, go ahead. That's totally fine too. Bring it up to here. Grab a half gabled roof and place it right here on this little bump out. Make sure it's facing the same way as the gabled. Drag it to fit as small as possible and bring in all of the eaves, and make sure the pitch is the exact same as well. Make sure you add the same wallpaper, roof pattern, and roof trim. Click on it, copy it, rotate twice, place it on the opposite side. For this middle piece, we're gonna go to the half wall tool. You can start by picking any of them. I'm just gonna pick a random one. Draw a 1 by 1 tile room here, and you're gonna want it to be the same height as the top of the gabled roof. So then once you add it, you'll see that you'll either need a taller one or a shorter one, or you might get it right on the first try. Who knows? That's perfect. Then go to half wall trims. Pick a color that's the same as your wallpaper or something close to it. And finally, we're going to click on the gabled roof, hold shift, and drag this eave up either once or twice. Then grab your siding or whatever you want, place it on each side as well as on the big roof. Now you have a really cool 2-car garage. And I always like to add a sconce here too. You could do it on all of these if you wanted to. I just love this one. I think this one is my favorite, to be honest. Let me know in the comments which one of these is your favorite. Alright, now that we're done with detached garages, we're going to move on to carports. So your carport can either be detached or attached to your house. Grab your platform tool and draw a rectangle. I made this one 6 by 8. Lower it, go to columns and grab any column and place it on each corner. Click here and click on the yellow outline and build ceiling. Grab a gabled roof and place it along the ceiling. Add wallpaper to your roof. Now when you add a ceiling, it'll leave this little outline. What you can do is you can cover it up with exterior trim. For some reason, when you click build ceiling, it doesn't let you add exterior trim because you have to go and do what I did earlier to do the exterior trim, which is getting a platform tool or a flat square, place it along the entire thing, and then you can add exterior trim, or you can just delete that, because the only reason I added it is so it was easier to add the roof, so you don't really need it there. Adjust your roof back and there you go. We don't have the line anymore. You could also drag your roof back all the way and then hold shift, bring it all the way forward. So yeah, you could either do it this way or you can just keep it how I had it. I usually like to add a little decor window to these, so something like this, or this one is usually my go-to. You can delete this part if you want to, or you can add flooring. You could also raise the platform so you can have a pretend slanted driveway. If you hold down the Alt key, you can freely adjust your roof. Also add spandrels if you want to be fancy. See, we've got that little crown molding look. But now we can see through. See that little gap? That bothers me. You can fix that by adding exterior trim. And that is it for our first carport. Our second one is pretty much the exact same, just with the half gabled roof instead of a gabled roof. Whenever I have these types of roofs, I like to drag the columns up to fit. If your columns won't move, you can click on it and then click the right bracket key and it'll raise your columns up. Be careful when you do this because they like to go back down to their original spot, so you might have to adjust it a million times. Our final garage is another carport. This one is going to be a little bit wider than the other ones. For this one, I'm going to make it a 2-car carport. This is 10 by 7. On each side, draw a room 1 by whatever. Mine is 1 by 10. On each side like this. Then we're going to grab a half gabled roof and rotate it so it's facing this way, and then adjust it. I would recommend lowering the pitch for this. Rotate twice and place on the opposite side. Now we're going to click on one of the roofs and hold down the shift key and drag this eave up about to this point and drag this one as well. Now you have this super cool open carport. You can put however many cars you want in here, or you could put anything in here really. Oh yeah, also this one would be a really good candidate for that hanging light. Use 9 to raise it until it's inside the roof, and there we go. All right y'all, that is it for this video. I really hope I helped you, and if you learned something new today, let me know. If you want to see more videos like this, leave a like and subscribe if you want. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!